Hey everyone, say hi if you're popping on. I'm just going to give Facebook a minute to get me an audience, and I want to make sure that I share this in my group so everybody can see it. So if you are joining me, say hi, give me a like, and let's just, okay, I got to do this on my phone. Technology is a challenge some days, so let's see. Want to make sure that we are live in Healthy Wife, Happy Life. Hey everyone. Oh, you don't need to hear that. Okay. I can't spell today. I need to make like the little letters on the phone bigger. So I have big thumbs and never seems to make so many typos because of it. You don't need to. Hold on. Almost done, you guys. Just bear with me. We'll get going in a second. Sure, let's start a watch party. That sounds like fun. I don't totally get watch parties yet, but we'll figure them out eventually. All right, let's get started. So this time of year is definitely a time of year where, you know, people are coughing and sneezing and colds are going around and people's immune systems are taking an extra hit. Our vitamin D tends to be a little bit lower. We're not getting as much sun as we need. And so I should have taken care of the dogs first. Totally forgot. Okay, so generally, it tends to be a time when things, you know, our immune system is taking a little bit extra hit and we don't have that extra vitamin D that we need to fight things. So I wanted to share with you today some of my favorite immune boosting tips, my immune superfoods that I use. Our family hasn't been sick at all so far this year, knock on wood, but it can happen, right? It happens to the best of us. So I will say my kids tend to bounce back really, really fast, which is amazing when they do get sick. You know, they're not invincible. My son earlier this year had just a wicked ear infection, which, you know, he's 15 and I don't think he's had an ear infection since he was probably 1. And he's maybe had 2 or 3 in his life. So it was a little bit surprising that he had one. And of course, he lives in a hockey dorm with his teammates. And I got a call from him. He just sounded awful. He was dying, you know, poor boy. So one of the first foods that I am going to share with you guys today is one of my favorite foods for boosting the immune system, and it's garlic. So garlic is incredible. It's got some really, really great antiviral, antibacterial properties. It can add so much flavor to your food, and I would say this time of year, add a little bit extra. I made a pork tenderloin yesterday in a crock pot, and I went out and picked some Granny Smith apples off the tree, and I threw those in with some sweet potatoes and some allspice. And it called for 5 cloves of garlic. I probably put in 20. You know, just go heavy on the garlic this year. If everybody's doing it, then we're all good, right? Nobody will notice. So everybody needs to jump on the garlic bandwagon. But honestly, it is just so good for boosting your immune system. When my son was sick for his ear infection, you know, the house mom was sort of asking, should we take him to the doctor? What should we do? And my favorite ear infection remedy, and it works like unbelievable every single time, never fail, is just garlic infused olive oil. You just heat it up on the stove. You test the temperature, obviously. I always test on the inside of my wrist to make sure it's not too hot. It can be warm, not hot. But you really want that garlic to be freshly crushed, because once garlic is crushed, it produces a compound called allicin. And allicin has really strong antibacterial properties. So when you crush that garlic, you want to use it really quickly when it's just been crushed. So use it in your food, use it in your salad dressings. I've shared, I think, my favorite salad dressing a few times on Instagram and on my Facebook page, but it's I'll share it with you now. It's literally just some balsamic vinegar, some fresh crushed garlic, some raw honey, which also has antiviral, antibacterial properties. It's another superfood to use this time of year for boosting your immune system. You can add it to some hot tea or even just hot water, and some raw honey, some turmeric, and some lemon is amazing to boost your immune system. But the garlic and the olive oil, when you put a few drops in your ear, if you've got an ear infection or your child has an ear infection, it's going to, those antibacterial properties are going to really get rid of anything that might be going on in there. And it's not just antibacterial, it's also antiviral. And most ear infections are actually viral, so children will actually get over them on their own if given enough time, but you do want to watch them, right? You want to check in with them. If you are really worried, of course, check with your doctor, but as soon as they made that recipe at the dorm, the garlic infused olive oil, and put it in my boy's ear, literally within about 2 hours, he was up and walking around and joined the team for dinner, when he had just been like bedridden for 2 days, which I didn't know about the day before. So but it worked, and it was amazing, and no antibiotics, nothing like that, and he bounced back really quickly. So garlic is amazing. Use it as much as you can this time of year. Get it into your diet, get it into your salad dressings, eat it raw, eat it whole, eat it roasted, however you want. Just get a lot of it into your diet. I have a 40 clove garlic recipe. A lot of you know, recently my dad was very, very sick and ill, and he was in the hospital, and it wasn't looking very good. He had a lung infection, so he bounced back, and I'm going to be sharing more and more in my Healthy Wife, Happy Life group about how he recovered, and the tips that I gave him and his wife to help him recover. And garlic, a 40 clove garlic soup, is actually one of those things that I wanted him to get into his body to help fight the inflammation, to help fight the virus and the bacteria that was just going after him wasn't good. So I'll be sharing the 40 clove garlic soup in there. I will be sharing the roasted pork tenderloin recipe that I made yesterday for our family, which is just amazing. So, excuse me, I'm not sick. It's actually, I've got my essential oil diffuser going, which I love, but some oils I find I'm a little bit sensitive to. So I put something in there today that is making my throat itchy. Anyhow, next, moving on, matcha. If you have not tried matcha, it is incredible. It is such a yummy, yummy, amazing, true superfood. It contains exceptionally high levels of antioxidants, and of course, antioxidants help to fight off disease-causing free radical compounds. And antioxidants in matcha help to boost the function of your immune cells and decrease inflammation, which means if you do get sick, matcha is going to help alleviate your symptoms. And so matcha also contains antimicrobial properties that can help fight off any invading pathogens such as viruses and bacteria. So this is an old can of matcha tea that I have. It's actually very well sealed in this silver thing. It doesn't like light. So if you get matcha and it's in like a glass jar or something where light can get to it, that can actually destroy some of your antioxidant properties. So you want to make sure that it is in a sealed container that is in sort of a dark, cool space so that it can keep all of those in there. I make matcha lattes regularly, matcha tea. You can do matcha cookies. There's lots and lots. You can just go and Google matcha recipes. You'll find a ton of them, and it's super good to get into your diet this time of year. Next is probiotic foods. If you guys have been following me for any length of time, if you're in my Healthy Wife, Happy Life Facebook group, or my costochondritis group that I'm sharing this in today. And I wanted to share this with you guys, especially because if you have costochondritis, the last thing in the world that you want to do is get sick. Coughing is one of the most painful things. Sneezing is just unbelievably painful if you have costochondritis. So you do want to make sure that you are doing everything you can to boost your immune system during the cold and flu season. And so getting in these foods is going to go a long way for you. Now, this is a product I'm going to show, and I'm going to tell you guys it's not available outside of Canada. So I'm sorry, it's not. But I love it so much. And yes, I have a bottle of it here with me in California, and I've just run out. So I'm waiting for my husband to fly back to Canada to bring me back like a 6-month supply. Hopefully you can see that. Let me take a look. There you go. The cultured coconut, nature's finest probiotic. If you can get your hands on this, if you're in Canada, the health food stores, Vita Health in Winnipeg has it. It is in most health food stores across the country. More and more of them are getting it. You can get it in Victoria at Lifestyles Market. Calgary, Alberta, I know that it is available there. Can't hold straight when I'm looking. It's like looking in a mirror, right? If you can see it. Now, if you can't get the cultured coconut probiotic, it's just a fermented organic coconut milk. It is vegan. It has 4+ trillion live bacteria in it, 40 strains, which is, I mean, it literally is the best probiotic I've ever seen. It is amazing. The Cultured Coconut has a Facebook page. Feel free to go ahead and follow them. And if you're trying to figure out if it's available in your town, you can send them a message. I've been speaking with the owner, and she's just really, really wonderful at reaching out. It's Canadian sisters in Nova Scotia that started this company, and they're just exploding. I've been talking to the owner, and they may be at the Vancouver Health Show coming up. It's January, February. One is at the end of January, one is February, the Victoria one. So I talked to her and said, well, if you go to Vancouver, go to Victoria too, because people in Victoria are going to want to know about this. So if you are in the US, like I am, you may need to talk to some of your Canadian friends to get your hands on this, like I did. Or you can, talk to me about different probiotics. I'm happy to do some research for you and help you find one that is a good fit. There are different strains for different conditions. I have a strain by condition chart that I use with my clients to figure out what is the best strain for them based on what it is, what health challenge they're dealing with. So feel free to reach out to me if you want some support about that, or again, join the Healthy Wife, Happy Life group. Talk to me in there. I do post a lot of stuff about fermented foods. I'm going to be doing some fermented food workshops coming up in the future, so we'll be talking more about that. Kimchi, sauerkraut, kimchi is actually my favorite as far as flavor goes. Kefir is amazing too. Water kefir is great. Greek yogurt is awesome for getting more healthy gut bacteria, healthy non-residential strains into your gut to support your residential gut bacteria. So all those things are great. If you have a hormone imbalance, probiotics are great. Boosting your immune system, of course, because 80 to 90% of your immune system is in your gut. So you want to make sure you're getting some really good probiotics this year. Those things are all super, super, super important. So excuse me, I should probably just turn that off, shouldn't I? So yeah, yogurt, kimchi, let me just look at my notes. Kefir, sauerkraut, kombucha, tempeh, all really, really good sources. I make my own kombucha all the time. I make my own kefir and my own kimchi. They're super easy to make, so I will be sharing more and more of that in my Healthy Wife, Happy Life Facebook group. So, could I plug it some more? We'll be learning more in there. Next, cinnamon. It is the perfect time of year for you guys to be getting more cinnamon into your diet. Cinnamon is a powerful spice that is rich in immune-boosting antioxidants. For those of you in healing from costochondritis, cinnamon is an anti-inflammatory food as well. So getting that into your diet every single day is going to be super helpful. One of my favorite ways to get cinnamon into my diet this time of year is literally my pumpkin pie spice. This is like Trader Joe's, right? This is where I got it from. It's non-GMO, non-ETO, and non-irradiated. So I just literally make my plant-based latte in the morning, sprinkle a little bit on top. I get a little bit in every single day. There are other recipes. I mean, you could put this on like a sourdough bread, toast it, put a little bit of butter on it, and sprinkle this on top. It's like, it's so good, so good. So getting cinnamon into your diet is huge. You can get it into smoothies in the morning. If you make a protein smoothie, a vanilla one, adding some of that into there with some pumpkin, which is also anti-inflammatory, is going to be amazing for your health. So when we talk about immune boosting antioxidants like cinnamon, antioxidants are literally some of the most important compounds for strengthening your immune system. So you want to make sure that you're loading up on them to prevent getting sick. So getting tons of antioxidants into your diet during the cold and flu season is going to help fight free radicals. It's going to help fight inflammation. It's going to help keep you healthy. And it's going to decrease inflammation in your body that is responsible for a lot of the symptoms that you have when you are actually getting sick. So let's get those inflammation levels down. Let's get the super high antioxidant foods in. Ginger, which, you know what? This also has ginger in it. So like win-win, right? I get ginger into my diet in so many different ways. I use fresh ginger, I feel like almost every single day. I grate it, I put it in, again, in salad dressings. I put it in, one of my favorite drinks is hot water with fresh sliced apple and fresh sliced ginger. You just throw it in the pot, let it heat up, let it boil for a little bit, get all the juices in there, throw it through a strainer, and drink that. It is so delicious. I have huge apple trees in my backyard, so I'm literally going out picking apples right off the tree. I just feel so spoiled to have those there that I can just indulge in those all the time. So the Granny Smiths are just becoming ready right now, and it's the perfect delicious drink to have. It's nice and warm. You could add this to it too if you wanted to, but I just put in fresh ginger and apple. You can put some lemon in it as well if you wanted to, but ginger and apple is delicious together with some hot water. Ginger, most of you probably already know this, but it is obviously useful for relieving nausea and digestive issues. It's super good for that. But it also contains potent antimicrobial properties that can help the immune system fight off infections. And so ginger contains a powerful compound known as gingerol, which has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. So for my costochondritis people, when I was struggling with costochondritis for 8.5 years, most of you know that my story, and I really fought it and I got better, which was 5 years ago now. I had ginger in my diet every single day. As much ginger as I could possibly eat. So definitely get some ginger in your diet, make it a regular thing. Next, acai berries. They are amazing. So they might be challenging to find fresh this time of year. I don't think I've ever actually seen them fresh anywhere, but they are equally as powerful as a powder or frozen. And you can find them frozen in a lot of places. This is actually something that I have been getting for our family and making for breakfast in the morning. So just want to make sure you guys can see these. Acai roots. This is organic smoothie pouches. So this is all that's in there is pure acai antioxidant superfood puree. That's it. Literally, it's the only ingredient. And they come in these little pouches, just like this. Certified organic. The ORAC value, an ORAC value, for those that don't know, and that's over there, is 6,100 per 3.5 ounces. That's really high. The high ORAC values is, the higher the ORAC value, the more antioxidant properties that a food has. So these are really, really awesome. If you're in California where I am, I get them at Grocery Outlet, literally, like the craziest place to be getting superfoods, but they have really great selections there. Really, really affordable. These are wild harvested acai berries, and they're certified organic. I put them in my kefir smoothie this morning with some blueberries, and they were just like super amazing. You can throw them in the blender, add some coconut milk. I've got like 2 recipes on the back. You can make a acai roots smoothie, which is just one of these with some apple juice and mixed berries and other fruits. I wouldn't use apple juice. I would actually use kefir. Kombucha, you could blend it with that. That would be really cool. Get some more probiotic foods in there. So lots of fun things you can do with that. And definitely getting those in this time of year is also going to be super helpful. Just to make sure I haven't forgotten anything about my notes. So they're extremely high antioxidants. They're one of the most effective free radical fighting foods on the planet, like super amazing. They also have a very high fiber count, and most of us are not getting enough fiber in our diet, which actually is super important for our gut health. It aids in digestion, but it also serves as food for our healthy gut bacteria. So super important to be getting lots of fiber into your diet. High fiber foods such as acai berries help increase the population of healthy gut bacteria. That is your residential gut bacteria. That is the whole goal when we're improving gut health. Probiotics are great. They are not residential. They never were meant to be. They just kind of hang out for a couple of days and help us out, and then off they go. So they're there to support us while we're healing our gut. But really, if you want to do the major work, it's getting in the fiber, getting in the prebiotic foods. Acai berries are perfect for that. They also inhibit the growth of pathogenic bacteria. So super, super amazing superfoods. Now, I have to share with you one of my other favorite things you have to do for your immune system in the fall, and this is elderberry syrup. I don't know if you can, there we go, elderberry wolfberry super syrup. Now, I have made this. This is a recipe that a really good friend of mine, Beth, shared with me, and I will be sharing the recipe in Healthy Wife Happy Life. So if you're not in there, make sure you go and join. I probably should have put that in here. Let me see if I can add the link while I've got you guys. No, Facebook isn't going to be helpful, and let me do that right now while I'm talking. Oh, wait, it is. I was just like too impatient. So hold on. Okay, I think that's it. That's either the page or that is my group. But if you guys haven't found it, just leave me a comment below that you want to join Healthy Wife Happy Life, and I just share tons of tips like this in there. I don't usually do this on my personal wall, but thought I would so I could reach more people today. Usually I say post for this like this for Healthy Wife Happy Life, so that is my tribe in there, and I love all my women that are in there. So elderberry syrup, let's talk a little bit about this. Elderberry and wolfberries, again, super high in antioxidant properties. They help to boost your immune system. There are studies out there that show that elderberry syrup on its own will help to reduce the length of a flu or a cold by 50%. So if you do get sick, you won't be sick for as long. More effective than the flu shot. So this is the flu shot that our family uses. It is amazing. It's delicious. Now, this recipe I will be sharing again in Healthy Wife Happy Life. I've added a few amazing essential oils to it, and that's another thing that we do for the fall. So it's not a superfood, but we definitely use essential oils in our house regularly. This one has some really great, some copaiba. What else did I put in there? I didn't list them on there. But it's got the wolfberries, raw honey, of course. It's super easy to make, so if anybody wants the recipe, again, it'll be in the group. I'll be sharing it in there with you. We've got some thieves oil in there, copaiba, orange, and lime, I think is what we put in there. So, and if anybody needs them, and if you're local to me, I've got a few extra jars. Just reach out to me. I'm happy to get those to you. Get you guys stocked up. I'm going to be putting together some elderberry syrup kits for anybody that wants to order those. You can let me know. I'd be happy to take care of you with those as well. Super easy to make. These are all my tips. The one last thing that I will mention that I haven't talked about for a couple of weeks, I've been a little quiet on it, but I've just been so busy, so much going on. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about getting in the right nutrients for your body. If you're taking supplements that somebody has recommended that you take for whatever condition or just to be healthy, whatever it is that you're doing, I want to talk to you about DNA nutrition. So many of us are taking stuff that we've gone and bought off the shelf, we've bought at the health food store, based on something we've read, on something somebody has told us. I watched this thread on Facebook the other day with women talking about B12, and I thought, oh my gosh, this one woman is taking B12 injections, and B12 injections are all cyanocobalamin. And if you have specific gene mutations, specific SNPs, you can't absorb cyanocobalamin. You need a methylated form. And how do you know? How do you know if you have those SNPs? Well, you get DNA tested. So it's one of the things that I offer for my clients. We can do DNA testing, and we can get you your own, where's the front? Nutrition. So what this is this, and I love it because I talked earlier about, did I talk about it? I did a post today about medicinal mushrooms. My formula comes with maitake and shiitake and reishi in it. Yours might not. It depends on the SNPs that you have. But literally, they test your DNA. They determine, we look at mitochondria, oxidative stress. We're going to look at MTHFR, both of them. And we're going to look at FUT2, which determines what type of B12 you should be taking, if you have a vitamin D receptor gene, and what types of vitamin D and what cofactors you need to be taking with that so that you can actually absorb vitamin D that you're taking. This is my nutrition made for me. Nobody else gets this. They have 400 million different combinations. So if you guys are wanting to make sure that you are taking the right supplements for you based on your DNA, honestly, I can't think of a better way to take your nutrition than to have something that is custom made for you like that. So those are all of my superfood tips for fall to keep you guys healthy, to keep that flu bug and cold bug away. If you do get them, these are the things you want to have in your life to help you get through it faster. And if you don't have these things in your life now, you want to start bringing these kinds of things in, these types of superfoods, the acai berries, the ginger, the garlic, the cinnamon. I mean, these things everybody can use. The honey, elderberry syrup is not difficult to make. You can still get elderberries, organic elderberries, online right now. There's a lot of places you can order them from. I'll be sharing links in the Healthy Wife Happy Life group where you can get them from. But honestly, they're not hard to find. If you do a search, you'll find them. So getting in all these delicious superfoods are amazing. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I'm just gonna take a quick peek before I pop off. Say something. I'm just going to check because it doesn't always show me on the computer, so sometimes I need to take a little. Pat says, don't you smell like garlic all day? Yeah, you do, Pat. That's why I said everybody needs to do it. Then nobody will notice that everybody's smelling like garlic, right? Have you ever noticed that? Nobody ever says anything to me about smelling like garlic. That doesn't mean that I don't smell like garlic. Maybe people are just being really, really, really nice. But it is so good to get that into your system. So yeah. Mucho matcha. Making that tea now. Awesome, Adrian. That's awesome. I love it. It's so cool. I will add you to the group for sure. Adrian, you can pop in there. I would love to have you in there because I love your insight. And where can you get the DNA tested? It's something I offer for my clients. So I'm happy to send you a link and you can just check it out. And if it's a fit, awesome. If it's not, that's okay too. It's what I use for my family and again, recommend for my clients rather than just sort of, using my best guess is what it is. I mean, I have years of nutrition training and stuff to back up why I would recommend a supplement to somebody. But without knowing your DNA, I don't know the best form of B12 for you. I don't know if you really need to be taking K2 with your vitamin D. Some people do, some people don't. It's not across the board. Same, one size fits all for everybody. It really depends on you. And, looking at folate and folic acid, again, we want to look at those MTHFR gene mutations. We want to see if you're homozygous or heterozygous. So have you inherited one SNP from both parents, one from one parent? That stuff is really, really important. I was just gonna look and see if I have my DNA test right here on my desk, because I can show you kind of what it looks like when you get your results. So here it is. This is mine, and you can see, and I put some little stars by things I wanted to do some more research on. So let me hold this up. There we go. So these are the 18 SNPs that they test. You can see FUT2 is for B12, and I'm good on that one. I'm green, but I do, and I don't have the one MTHFR, but I do have the other one. But I just have the one SNP from one parent. And so these are the different ones that they're looking at. You can see oxidative, lipid oxidation, free radical, anti-inflammatory, CoQ10 is important as well, of course, the homocysteine levels. All these different things are what they're testing for detoxification. This is a really important one that a lot of people are not talking about, the EPHX1 for detoxification. We want to take a look at that. How does your body handle those free radicals that you are exposed to? How are we detoxing them? Is our liver working very well? Is it not working very well? And if it's not, if you've got yellows, if you've got reds on there, if you've got greens, whatever it is, green means basically your body is working great. You don't have those SNPs, so you don't have to worry about them. If they're yellow or if they're red, then they're going to customize your supplement and give you the right amount based down, like right down to the microgram, to support those SNPs that you have in your body so that you can actually absorb exactly what you need and you don't get anything that you don't need. So super cool. Let me just make sure I haven't missed anything. Absolutely, Christina. I will definitely add you to the group as well. And Adrian says, thanks. I completely agree with individual treatments. Very like Eastern. Yes, I do too. It's the work that I do with my clients. I am a certified holistic health coach and integrative nutritionist. And I will say it's all about customizing what we do to each individual or with each individual client based on how their body responds, even with food. It's finding the best diet for you based on how your body responds. And there is no one size fits all for everybody. We're all just so different. And so it's looking at how your body responds to foods. Look at how it responds to specific supplements. If we're targeting a specific condition, we want to make sure we've got exactly what your body needs. And sometimes it is a little bit of trial and error, but when we're using our customized supplements, then we know we've at least taken care of all of those things, all of those SNPs, all of those genes, so that the body can then get back into alignment because it has exactly what it needs. So I'm super excited to be sharing with everybody today. If you're not in Healthy Wife, Happy Life, go ahead and shoot me a message below. I'll make sure that I add you. I'm going to be getting a lot more active in there over the next 2 months. And I'm going to be starting to do offer workshops through the group. So if you guys are in there, great. Say hi, send me some love. If you're not and you want to join, let me know below and I will add you. Linda Lee and Erin Kaplan. Hey guys, so I'm going to pop off. I hope you're having a healthy, happy day and I will talk to you soon. Bye.